Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Wrestling King 619 back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you the highlights of May 19th, 2025, Smackdown, May 23rd, 2025, and Saturday night's main event, May 24th, 2025. Raw started with Logan Paul in the ring, saying that next Monday, you will see me as the new world champion. That's a fact. Here's some more facts. Uso tapped out Gunther at Mania to win the world title. I won my first singles title 12 years faster than Jey Uso, and Uso can't handle the weight of being world champion. And Uso is focused on everyone but me. Gunther said at the Raw before that whoever wins, he will have his Mania rematch. Gunther said, "You seem very confident that you can beat a guy who has beaten me for my title, so you think you're better than me." Confident is good. It's what drives us in life. These people should respect you more, but they're jealous of you. You are a self-made megastar, founder of your own company. Imagine the headlines, YouTuber becomes world champion. He said, "I like the sound of that. One day might become world champion." Gunther said, "This is just business to you, but to me, it's personal. You take the title from Uso, and from him defending it against me, I take it personal and feel disrespect. Pat McAfee showed heart, but when I look into your eyes, I don't see heart. All your accolades will mean nothing, and I will eat you alive if you win." And Gunther walked out of the ring, and Logan Paul called him a scaredy cat, but then Uso came up from behind Logan with a super kick and said, "Fact, I'll see Logan on Saturday, and then we'll see Gunther in Phoenix for our rematch." Well, earlier that night, May 19th, we found out that Roxanne Perez is the newest member of Raw. We go backstage to Paul Heyman and Jey Uso, and Heyman said, "So I don't stab you in the back. I'll say it to your face tonight. The fact that you are facing Breaker and the title isn't on the line, he doesn't want your title. But just know, if it's you, Logan, or Gunther, they're all short term." Now it's Penta and AJ versus Balor and JD with Carlito at ringside. And after the week before when Penta took out Carlito and JD in the Balor versus AJ match, Carlito got involved a couple times. They both tried to take Penta's mask off, and JD missed AJ and did a frog splash onto Balor. Styles planted him face first and pinned him, but JD kicked out. Penta gave a Mexican destroyer to JD on the outside of the ring. The referee was distracted, and then El Grande Americano was in the crowd and gave Penta a headbutt with the metal plate in his mask. Balor did the coup de grace and they won the match. Balor has only won 3 singles matches in the past 2 years, and that's not good. And that wasn't even a singles match anyway, so that doesn't count. We go backstage to Kathy Kelly, who, OMG, she's so hot. Anyway, she's interviewing Io about the Money in the Bank winner possibly targeting her, and she knows what it takes to win Money in the Bank. And Io said, "I will be ready for anyone." And then Becky came on the scene and said, "Well, you haven't beaten me one-on-one," and said, "I don't have a problem putting down another champion." We go backstage again to Seth Rollins and Logan Paul, and Seth said, "Uso is going to get hurt tonight, which means that you have the advantage at Saturday night's main event for the title. And if you can get past both Jey Uso and Gunther, I'll be waiting on the other side. And you know who to thank." It's Natalya versus Roxanne versus Becky in a women's qualifying Money in the Bank match. Becky gave Natalya a manhandle slam and was about to pin her, but Lyra dragged her from under the bottom rope and beat her up. And Roxanne gave Natalya a pop rocks to qualify the Money in the Bank match. Literally, she had a great year so far. She was runner-up of the Royal Rumble. She was on her first night of of signing with Raw. She is in the Money in the Bank match. Now it's Sheamus versus Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory is obviously at ringside. Waller was trying to do a springboard move off the ropes, and he got distracted for a split second, and that distracted costed him because Sheamus met him with a knee. Waller wanted to leave and have Sheamus win with a count out victory. Theory was stopping him and said, "What are you doing?" He was basically stalling him. Sheamus got him back in the ring, gave him the 10 beats of the Bowderin and a bro kick, and won the match, and Theory was laughing. We go backstage to Gunther and Rollins. Gunther said, "For a visionary, you're pretty short-sighted. I am the future around here." Seth said, "Alright man, I'll cut the crap. If you happen to win the title, you'll be treated no different. You will make yourself a target." And Gunther said, "I am eager." Now it's Kairi Sane versus Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Zoe tried to give Kairi a dropkick but blew her knee out and got taken out of the match. And she has had knee injuries before. And now it's a regular one-on-one match. Kairi was looking for the insane elbow, but Rhea met her with a dropkick to the stomach and pinned her, but countered it with the knee up, and with the riptide, Rhea Ripley will qualify for the Money in the Bank. Now we go to Judgment Day's clubhouse, and Balor brought in Roxanne Perez. Balor said, "Because I've been thinking about what Dominic said, that we might need some more numbers around here." Balor said, "She's not a member of Judgment Day yet, but sometimes you may need a little help around here." And she gave Dominic chicken nuggies. Then it's the main event, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman is obviously at ringside, and the title is not on the line. Breaker gave Uso a Frankensteiner and pinned him, but Uso kicked out. And Breaker was running the ropes to give Uso a spear, but he ran into a super kick, and Uso pinned him, but Breaker kicked out. Then Paul Heyman was on the apron and distracting the referee, while Breaker got a steel chair, but used it against him. Also, Heyman grabbed Uso's foot, and the ref didn't see it. Uso had it with him and was basically cornering him, but then Rollins jumped him, which called for a no contest. Now it's a 2-on-1 assault, but then Sammy and Punk came out, and they were fighting in the ring, and it led to the crowd. Smackdown started with Priest and McIntyre brawling, and the officials separating them before their match the next day at Saturday night's main event. Then Stratton came in the ring and said, "This time last year I was qualifying for the Money in the Bank thinking I was in over my head, and months later I become champion. I've beaten a lot of great talents around here, like Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and the week before, Nia Jax." Then Alexa Bliss came out and said, "It's not personal, it's just business. I cashed in on Nia to win the title just like you did. The only difference is that I like Nia. I don't know about you though. You should pray I don't win the Money in the Bank, because your rise to the top will be as quick as your downfall." Then Charlotte came out and said, "I've won everything except Money in the Bank in WWE. So if that's the path I have to take, so be it. When I win Money in the Bank, I plan on not only taking the title, but the spotlight, because when I want something, I don't wait." Stratton said, "You're a hypocrite because you said that cashing in is the easy way out. So what are you doing trying to qualify? And you both are standard, and I am the upgrade." Now it's Charlotte versus Alina versus Julia to qualify in the Money in the Bank. Charlotte did a moonsault to both of them and pinned them, but they both kicked out. Zelina gave Julia a code red and pinned her, but Charlotte broke it up. But with a Northern Lights bomb, Julia won the match and qualified for the Money in the Bank. We go backstage, and Chelsea's group attacked Zelina, but B-Fab and Michin were there to even things up. Aldis and officials broke it up, and Aldis made a match. Michin and B-Fab versus Piper and Alba Fire. Now it's Ciampa from DIY versus Chris Sabin from Motor City Machine Guns in a singles match with their partners at ringside. Ciampa threw Gargano's jacket at Sabin and distracted him, which made him do the Widow's Bell and get the upper hand. Ciampa did the white noise on the apron and pinned him, but Sabin kicked out. Gargano took out Alex Shelley, but then Sabin took them both out. While the referee was checking on Ciampa's leg, Candice LeRae, Gargano's wife, came out from nowhere and gave Sabin a sneak attack, and with the running knee, Ciampa won the match. Priest and McIntyre are still fighting and brought to the ring, and officials are trying to break them apart, and eventually do. Priest says, "Tomorrow, you're going to the hospital." He clotheslined two officials and attacked McIntyre again. Then we go backstage to Fatu, Solo, and JC. And Fatu said to JC, "I don't know you, I don't like you, and I don't trust you. And I don't like what you're doing, Solo. I didn't need your help at Backlash, and he sure ain't family." Now it's B-Fab and Michin versus Piper and Alba with Chelsea at ringside. There wasn't really much to say in this match. Chelsea was on the apron and Zelina came out and did a hit and run. And with a neck breaker, B-Fab and Michin won the match. Now it's Rey Fenix and Jimmy Uso versus JC Mateo and Fatu, with Solo obviously at ringside. In the beginning, JC and Fatu can't get along. Phoenix took both Fatu and JC down with a springboard corkscrew plancha. Solo said to Jimmy, "You are still family. Join us. I love you," because that's his brother. Phoenix gave Fatu a poison rana and pinned him, but it was more than a 2 count. It was like 3/4, but still 2. Uso pinned JC with a crossbody, but Fatu breaks it up with a senton. Uso speared JC and was about to go for an Uso splash, but Sol distracted him, and Mateo with a spinning body slam called the Tour of the Islands. JC and Fatu won the match. Now, R-Truth is talking in the ring. The night before he faces Cena for the title, he said, "People keep asking me, how can I fight my hero? Well, I'm not. That guy who attacked me, I don't know him. I realized the problem. It's power. He used to call me his friend, but the more fame he got, the more disconnected we got. No more reaching out to me. He's like the goblin fella in Lord of the Rings. He corrupted with all the power. Calling the title your precious, it's not the title, it's your ego. You stop having fun and then get mad when someone else wants to have fun. I don't like you now. You can't be happy. You're the GOAT, and I'm trying to bring you back. If I want to save wrestling, I have to save you, Cena, and I don't want to fight you. But if that's the only way, I'll beat some hustle, loyalty, and respect in your ass." Now it's Aleister Black versus Knight and versus Nakamura to go to Money in the Bank. Black did a moonsault out of the ring to both Nakamura and Knight, but got an awkward landing, and only Nakamura went down. Knight got Black and put him back in the ring, but Black dove over the ropes and connected with Knight, still favoring his leg. Knight gave Black an elbow drop and he was about to pin him, but didn't, because Nakamura gave him a Kinshasa and pinned him, but Knight got the rope to break it up. Black did the Black Mass to Nakamura, but Knight dragged him out of the ring and pinned Nakamura to qualify the Money in the Bank. He stole it from Aleister Black. There was a promo of Bianca Belair and that she will be returning next Friday on Smackdown, which was June 6th, in her hometown of Knoxville, Tennessee. Now it's the Street Profits versus Fraxium. And this time the titles are on the line. Fraxium moves so fast, they're literally human missiles, which is what Wade Barrett says. A super blockbuster of sorts and pinned Axiom, but Fraser broke it up. Axiom did a Spanish fly and Fraser did a Phoenix splash and pinned, but Ford broke it up, but got a super kicked by Axiom. Then DIY and Candice came out. Not too far behind were Motor City Machine Guns, and Ford jumped over the ring post onto both teams. Fraser tried to go for the Phoenix splash again, but Dawkins moved out of the way and gave him a spine buster. But then the lights went off. And when they came back on, the Wyatt Six were in the ring and beat all of them, which called for a disqualification, which means that the Street Profits still retain the titles. Saturday night's main event, Rollins and Breakker beat Punk and Sammy with help from a returning Bronson Reed, which is ironic considering that Rollins injured him. Uso retained his title against Logan Paul, as well as Cena retaining against R-Truth and Zelina retaining against Chelsea Green, and Priest beat McIntyre in the steel cage. Now that was everything that happened on May 19th, May 23rd, and May 24th. Raw, SmackDown, and Saturday's main event. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm the Wrestling King 619. I'll catch you next time. Peace.